Hey guys, I was thinking a little bit last night about this, and I actually made a video for myself, but I didn't watch my language, so I'm going to attempt to do it and make it like YouTube friendly at least, rated PG instead of rated R. Back in 1991, I was in the Air Force, but I had given notice, to my superiors that I was not going to be renewing for another term. And when that happens, the position I was in, they took me out of some classified work I'd been doing and moved me into the squadron orderly room. And I was actually pretty happy about that. And the reason I was happy about that is our orderly room was on the third floor of a building, and then about 100 yards away from that building was the base rec center. This was off at Air Force Base in Omaha. And that rec center had pool tables. It was, as far as I was concerned, the whole point of the place existing. And I remember back then, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whenever it was I was going to take lunch, whenever lunch was, I would grab my cue. I'd taken it up in the morning, run down the stairs, run 100 yards across the parking lot, run into the rec center, and shoot pool for an hour. And then I would run back across the parking lot, up 3 flights of stairs, and get back to work. And I did this every day that I was working, 5 days a week for over a year. And I look at it now; it's impressive. I was able to run those kind of distances and those flights of stairs as quickly as I could. But I was pretty young. I was 26 years old. So yeah, nowadays I couldn't run to the camera. Even to see me try. But it wasn't so much, the running part of it. It was the enthusiasm that I had for pool back then. I could not wait to play, and I would, at the earliest opportunity, as soon as I got any opportunity, I would shoot. There for a while, we had a pool table in our basement, and I was down there all the time shooting. Then I moved to an apartment, and man, as soon as I got off work, I'm grabbing my cue and driving to the rec center and shooting. So then I had this job change, and I didn't have to go to my apartment and get my cue. I already had it. And it was just, if I was awake and not working, I was shooting pool. That was just the way it was. The enthusiasm was ridiculous. And I was having a conversation about this a couple of days ago about, what happened. I still love to play pool. It's still, my passion in life is pool. But I don't have that enthusiasm that I used to have. And I was trying to kind of figure out, why, what has changed, besides just me being physically able to play for that length of time and all that. I think one of the things that was probably the biggest change for me is back then, I was still on a rapid upslope of improvement. And back then, I really didn't know where I was going to stop. I didn't know if I was going to end up being the next Efren Reyes or not. I honestly did not. I never really seen any type of a down slope in my game. It was always improvement. And I think that was probably the biggest thing that kept me really enthusiastic about pool was I wanted to see what was going to happen. And I wanted to get there. However good I was capable of getting, I wanted to get there as quickly as possible. And then, of course, plus it was a fun game and all that, and it still is. But back then, I think it was that unknown. Where's my ceiling? Do I have a ceiling? And if I do, where is it? How soon can I hit it? What do I have to do? It was very exciting for me. And nowadays, and basically since then, maybe since like the mid '90s, it's still been fun. It's still been awesome. I'm not knocking the game at all, but I haven't had that enthusiasm driving me to go and play. as soon as I possibly could go and play, go and play. And I was liking it you know, to basically like falling in love with another person. When you fall in love with a person, when you first fall in love, you're in like, the honeymoon stage, they call it. And every second you want to be with that person, you want to be with them, you want to be with them. And if you're not with them, you're miserable, or at least you're not happy. You know something's missing, and it's that person that's missing. And I've gone through those stages in my life as well. But talking about pool, I think during that time, late 80s, very early 90s, I was still in the honeymoon stage of pool and wanted, it's almost impossible for me to describe how badly I wanted to play pool all of the time. And not just play well. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to keep improving, see where is my ceiling if I have one. I miss that. I miss having that enthusiasm about pool or about anything. Right now, I don't have that about anything right now. Still enjoying myself and all that, but not super fired up to play. There are mornings, believe it or not, where I will get up and get out of bed and go to work and not rush down the stairs at breakneck speed and play pool. There are evenings where when I get done working, I'll come down here and I'll watch TV. I was watching Big Brother before I turned on the camera here. Even though there's a pool table right there, see? I wasn't shooting pool. I was watching TV. The enthusiasm, it's just not nearly as strong as it used to be. The honeymoon period is gone for me as far as me and pool, and it has been for a very long time. So one of the things that I guess I'm trying to get back a little bit by trying all these different things that I try. I've mentioned before, when I do try something new, a lot of times all of a sudden I shoot better. For a day or two, sometimes a week, I'll see that improvement again, that improvement that I hadn't seen in a long time, even if it's only temporary. When I'm in the middle of it, it's not temporary. When I'm in the middle of one of these flashes of improvement that's going on with me, it's going to last forever. To my subconscious, well, it's going to last forever. And it doesn't. And I've gotten over the disappointment of that happening time after time after time after time. What that kind of means, though, is then I get to try something else. And I get to have some improvement. And I get to get a little bitty glimpse of that honeymoon period again as I'm improving again, as I'm shooting better. It's fun for me to, chase that, what's the saying? Chase that dragon or tilt at that windmill or something like that. It's fun for me to see a goal or envision a goal and go for it. And that's what I've been missing a lot since the late 80s, early 90s is that. Every now and then I can recreate it a little bit. And that's what I was just talking about with trying different things, stuff like that. It's not quite the same thing. Maybe it's not quite the same thing because I know what's going on. I know that if I tweak something and I shoot better for a couple days, I know it's not going to last forever. And I know eventually it's going to fall apart. Everything falls apart for me. And I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, basically. Back then, I didn't know that. It had never happened to me. And that's probably the biggest reason that I was just so fired up about playing pool back then. Maybe I was asked the question, maybe having a pool table here in my house has made it like too ordinary for me. It's too easy for me to shoot pool. If I did not have this table in my house, would I be fired up and would I be driving down to my local pool hall every chance I got as quickly as I could? I don't think that I would. Of course, I'm not in that situation, so I don't know for sure. I think I would go down there every now and then, and I would drive like a normal person, not at 150 miles an hour, to get down there and play. the enthusiasm, easy for me to say, that I used to have. It's just not, it's either not there or it's not nearly as strong as it used to be. And it makes me a little bit sad because, there are other things in my life that I've been enthusiastic about, and, they're not there either. So you get to a certain point and it's like, well, okay, you're just going to just muddle through life. And that doesn't sound very appealing, but sometimes you do just muddle through. And that's kind of what I've been doing, just muddling through life, hoping that my elbow infections allow me to play as much as I feel like playing. And if they don't, I guess I can always watch TV. I'm a wild man, in case you never guessed that before. Thanks, guys.